Hi, this is Tracy from We Craft at Home. Today I'd like to show you how to do a gatefold Christmas tree card. It's just the basic shape of the card, and I'll show you how to split it so that it's easier to do on both sides. It's really a simple card. I've broken it down into 3 pieces. The size I'm doing is 7x7, but obviously you can resize it to 6x6 or whatever it is you want to do. So first of all, let's get rid of all them, and I'll bring the Christmas tree I'm using, or the outline. I haven't used an actual picture of a Christmas tree, just an outline, because on this what I want to do is use Christmas papers to decorate it. I've actually got one of pine needles that I thought I might try and use, but we shall see. So first thing to do, we want 3 layers all together. So we're going to offset. I'm going to do it at 8. Okay, so there's the first one, and all you're going to do is offset OK again. So the top one is going to be the card base, and the other 2 is going to be the mat and then the main layer. You can do as many as you like, but I always feel that just 1 mat and 1 layer is enough, really. So what we need to do now, I'll just put it back where it was. So center, middle. We need to split them. So the first thing to do that is you get the path tool and draw a line down the center of the Christmas tree, because we know that's what we want. And then we're going to go to offset, turn it down to 4, and delete what's there, because we need a closed line. We can't just use a line, it has to be a closed line. And then we're going to get an awful lot closer, because then we can move the line right in. We want to lose the least amount of the Christmas tree that we can manage. And then, because we're in close, you can make sure that you're in the middle. The Christmas tree is not even, so it doesn't centralize using the align. I tried. So now what we have to do, we have to duplicate, and we're going to do that twice, because you can only do 1 Christmas tree at a time. But what we're going to do is keep them all there so that we know it's all in exactly the same place. So what you do, you grab one of the lines, hold shift, and just click on the outside, and it will pick up the top Christmas tree. And then you're going to subtract. And now you'll see there is a split down the middle, but we're going to leave it there and carry on until that is lined up perfectly with the other one that we used. Now we have to just pick up, I think it's that one, yes, the Christmas tree, the central one. I've come into layers to do it, because obviously the biggest one is on top, and then we are going to subtract again, and we're just going to do it one more time. So line it up, pick up the Christmas tree and the line again, and subtract. Now they're all separate. So the next thing to do, we can come out to do, the next thing to do is one at a time. You're going to just click divide and then move it out the way. Click the next one, divide, and move it out the way, and the last one, divide. There we go. So this one is the one we're using as the main card piece. Actually, do you know what we should do first? I am sorry. First thing we need is to make sure that we have the right size. I wanted mine to be 7x7, which would be 675. So here we're going to click that so that it stays in shape, and just change the height to 675 so that we know it's the right size, and they're all still the same size. Now we want, so click 1, 2, they're the outside layers that we need. These can go off to the side, we don't need them for a while. So now we need a rectangle, and it's got to be, we're going to untick maintain aspect ratio now, because the height is got to be 675, because that's the height of the card. And then because of adding on the tree to the rectangle, I know that this has to be 70, and that's the exact size we need. And what we're going to do is bring them over, and you're going to click the align through the middle just to make sure they're lined up right, and then we're going close and make sure they're overlapping. They're overlapping a bit too much, so we'll pull this one out a little bit. I'm using the arrows. We literally just need the lines to cross over, and then when they're together, there you go, it is the right size. So weld. We will go out. I'm going to undo that because I need to. You can't do another one and flip it because they are not an exact match. So these wouldn't fit like into the other side. So you need to do the two sides separately. So now I've got my other rectangle, we can weld. And then on this one, we're doing the same thing. And then we just need to make sure that they're crossing over, and these aren't even crossing over at all. So there we go. Make sure it's going through the middle. We've done that, yeah. And weld. Okay, so that's the two sides, like that. And now we need a score line. And I'm just going to put it anywhere, but top to bottom, obviously. So click, hold shift, straight down, double click. And that will change to a score line. And then we are going to duplicate that so that we've got one over there as well. As you can see, I am not worrying about it being wherever it's got to be because we just need it in the middle. So it will do it itself. Down the center. So that's the two outside pieces. I'm going to group them so that the score line won't move anymore. And then we just need a square piece that is 875 by 675. And this has got to go on the X and Y. And we need two score lines, and we need one at 1 inch. And another one, I'm just going to have a rough guess, and then I can move it when I look over here. That's not too bad actually. So we need it at 775 because we know that the size of the box is 875, so an inch in would be 775. And we'll put the score line, and then what we're going to do is group that. And believe it or not, that card is now ready to cut out. And what we're going to do, them score lines are going to join the outside pieces. So you fold in and fold out like a gatefold. So it's going to score there and come in, and then the tree comes out. Two pieces there. It's up to you how you decorate it. I'm going to do my mat as gold, and then I will decide like I said, I think I have one that looks like pines, and I think that would look great, and then we can decorate the tree. For the inside, I wouldn't do too much, just an insert with a verse. I think that's all you need. If you want to do the other side of the rectangle so that it's up against the Christmas tree, then you could do that, whether it be stripy so it looks like wallpaper behind, or you know, just red. You just need to do a square that's 6.5, and then if you're doing a mat as well, that's 6.25. It's that simple. Okay, I'll see you over at the craft desk. Okay, as you can see, I'm over here at the craft table. I've done my inking ahead of time, I'll show you in a minute. But first of all, these are all my bits cut out, and I've already layered those bits that are important. So we have 2 bits like this and 1 bit like that, and that is it. That is, you fold that. So you want it on the card like this. Now it's up to you whether you stick it on top like that or in like that, so that you've got a nice fold on the end of the card. That's what I'm going to do. Make sure you're lining it up at the bottom right and at the top. Because then we've got some toppers here that are going to cover it, so we're not going to actually see it. So same thing, if we're going that way, we need that to fold that way. Always reinforce your folds. They fold better if you do that. And again, just make sure that you've got it into the crease and that it's level on the top and the bottom. Okay, so I've had to use my peel off gold. I can't find any mirror board anywhere and I've run out, so I'm just using my peel off one at the minute. So the basis of the Christmas tree is that, and then obviously you'd open it like that. So what I've done for the middle, I've got another gold sticky piece, this to go on top, so it's almost like the inside of the tree, you know, with the baubles and things. And then I got a piece of vellum, and what I've done, I've stamped it ahead of time because it takes a while to go dry on vellum, especially as I use VersaFine. So I've just put a little sentiment in the middle. It's the most wonderful time of the year, and I stamped around in a very light green. I used stuck them together. So I don't know if you can see it, but it's called the Crystal Branch, and it was a Chloe stamp years and years ago, but I still use it every year because I love it. And it's really nice to make a stamped border around an insert or something. So I've done it on vellum so that it can just go over the top. I'm hoping it's okay. I can still see it. I'll show you. Although it's fainter, you can still see what it says. So I'll just stick that down. Okay, so now we've got a card like that. That opens like that. So all we need to do now is decorate the tree. So, and actually I'm having a bit of a problem myself is keeping these white. So I'm probably going to cut this and put it there as well. I think that will look better, personally. The ink's still wet and I've got it on there. Right, so yeah, so now you just, if you want to decorate the tree, you can decorate it in strands and pearls and, you know, whatever you want to put on now, it's down to you. I was just showing you the basic card. And I really love this card, actually. So it's very simple to make, very easy to do. And for a bulk make, I think it's probably no time at all, is it? I mean, you don't have to worry about stamping. You can just put a white insert in there. Or, you know, like the pin flare verses, things like that. Yeah, I mean, it depends how simple you want it or how elegant you want it. So that's the kind of simple version. If you... again, you don't have to use the actual papers like I've used. You can make it as multicoloured or as festive as you want, or colour it in yourself. There's so many different ways to do it. I could have heat embossed this as well. That looks amazing on vellum. But I just wanted to go with ink this time. So yeah, well, you'll see a picture anyway when the thing starts of this finished. So I will leave it there, and I hope you enjoyed that and hope it helps with some of your Christmas. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye for now.